one game.
We going to the young. What are we doing? DM, JH, what the fuck?
We got to just pick it up on the way, and one thing we're going to rely on is our defense. So tonight is another great effort. We had big fella back, and we just got to keep it going from here.
Help was coming, but instead he decided, let's go degree of difficulty.
James Harden.
What if everything you think you know about James Harden is only half the story? Not the step-back threes, not the MVP season, not even the playoff collapses people love to bring up. I'm talking about the real truth, the patterns, the decisions, the reputation, and the quiet details that explain why one of the most talented scorers in NBA history is also one of the most misunderstood figures the league has ever seen.
Timeout, Golden State!
Because when you strip away the headlines, the memes, and the narratives, James Harden's career starts to look less like a superstar story and more like a calculated, controversial blueprint that changed the NBA forever, for better or worse.
NBA Live.
Goes behind the back, between the legs, between the legs, between the legs, between the legs, right, left, slam!
So let's break it all down. From Oklahoma City to Houston. From MVP dominance to constant team switches. From offensive genius to postseason questions.
50% for Harden behind the line. James and Richardson. Step back, fire.
This is the full truth about James Harden, updated to everything we know as of 2026. Before the beard became a brand, before the step back became unstoppable, Harden was the third option. Oklahoma City, early 2010s. Kevin Durant was the scorer. Russell Westbrook was the engine. Harden? He was the sixth man, crafty, efficient, and quietly deadly. But even then, there were signs, not explosive athleticism, not elite speed. Instead, something far more dangerous.
14 of 14. You look at that stat line, most unusual. 1 of 8 from the field and 13 of 4.
Control. Harden controlled pace. He manipulated defenders. He understood angles like a veteran long before he became one. While others relied on physical dominance, Harden was already building a mental blueprint. And when OKC made the decision that would define multiple franchises, trading Harden in 2012 over a contract dispute, they didn't just lose a player, they unleashed a system. When Harden arrived in Houston, something unusual happened. He didn't adapt to the system. The system adapted to him.
They're a good team. I mean, what you mean? Not only Draymond, but I mean, they made tough shots. They made, you know.
Under Mike D'Antoni, the Rockets didn't just build around Harden. They redesigned basketball itself. Isolation-heavy offense, extreme three-point volume, minimal mid-range shots, maximum spacing, and at the center of it all, Harden. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Step back three, drive, foul, repeat. To some, it was genius. To others, it was unwatchable. But statistically, it was unstoppable.
He's going to have 60 if the Rockets are going to win tonight. He can do it.
2018 MVP multiple scoring titles. Historic usage rates, 30-point seasons that felt routine. Harden wasn't just putting up numbers. He was warping defensive schemes across the entire league.
That's a takedown by He just laid on Michael Carter Williams' back.
Chicago's number 7.
I tell you what.
Teams had to rethink everything. And yet, even at the peak of this dominance, the cracks were already forming. Here's where the truth about Harden gets complicated, because his greatness came with a cost. Harden mastered something few players ever fully embrace: rule manipulation. Drawing fouls became an art form. Hooking arms, sudden stops, head snaps, timing contact perfectly. It worked. Defenders couldn't guard him traditionally without risking free throws. Officials had to make split-second decisions. And Harden lived in that gray area. But this is also where the backlash began. Critics argued, he's gaming the system. That's not real basketball. It won't work in the playoffs. And for years, the debate never stopped. Was Harden redefining efficiency or exploiting loopholes? The answer is both. No matter how dominant Harden became in the regular season, one narrative followed him relentlessly. Can he deliver when it matters most? There were moments of brilliance, yes. But there were also moments people couldn't ignore. Cold shooting nights in elimination games, passive stretches when aggression was needed, turnovers at critical moments. And then, the defining era, Golden State. Harden's Rockets pushed one of the greatest teams ever to the brink. Game 7, 2018 Western Conference Finals. 27 straight missed threes. That moment didn't just end a season, it solidified a reputation. Fair or not, Harden became the face of playoff inconsistency. Not because he failed completely, but because he came close and didn't finish. Then came the turning point. Harden didn't just leave Houston, he forced his way out. And this is where the truth shifts again, from player to decision maker. Reports surfaced. Frustration with roster construction, dissatisfaction with direction, desire for a new situation. But the way it unfolded, arriving out of shape, visible disengagement, public tension, left a lasting impression. This wasn't just a superstar requesting a trade. This was leverage, and it worked. Brooklyn was next. On paper, it looked unstoppable. Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, 3 elite scorers, 1 championship expectation, and for brief stretches, it looked exactly as dominant as expected. But reality told a different story. Injuries, chemistry issues, availability concerns, unpredictability. Harden, once again, adapted, but also adjusted his role. More playmaking, less scoring, a shift toward facilitating rather than dominating. But behind the scenes, tension built again. Within a year, Harden wanted out. Another exit, another shift, another question. Was this bad luck or a pattern? Philadelphia became Harden's next chapter. This time, the narrative changed. Instead of being the system, Harden became part of one. Alongside Joel Embiid, he leaned heavily into playmaking. Assists climbed, scoring dipped. The game slowed down even more, but in a different way. This version of Harden wasn't about isolation dominance, it was about orchestration. And at times it worked beautifully, but the same underlying questions remained. Can this version win at the highest level? Can Harden fully commit long-term? Will consistency hold in the playoffs? The answer's never fully settled. Here's the part that rarely gets discussed clearly. James Harden's career isn't just a sequence of teams, it's a pattern of control. In Houston, he controlled the system. In Brooklyn, he adjusted, but left when instability rose. In Philadelphia, he reshaped his role, but questions lingered again. Across every stop, one constant remained. Harden influenced outcomes beyond the court, roster moves, coaching styles, offensive identity. Few players in NBA history have had that level of indirect control over how teams function, and that's where the truth becomes less about stats and more about impact. If you look strictly at numbers, Harden is undeniable. One of the greatest scorers ever, elite playmaker in later years, advanced metrics that place him among the best offensive players in history. But numbers don't capture perception. And perception for Harden has always been divided. To supporters, he's revolutionary, misunderstood, ahead of his time. To critics, he's inefficient when it matters, system-dependent, difficult to build around long-term. Both sides use evidence, both sides have arguments, and neither fully defines him. As of everything we can reliably track up to this point, Harden's later career phase has been defined by adaptation. Less explosive, more strategic, more reliant on vision than scoring bursts. The step back is still there, but not as overwhelming. The passing, sharper than ever. The pacing, even more deliberate. But the key truth is this: Harden didn't fade, he evolved. The question now isn't whether he can dominate like before. It's whether his version of control, slower, smarter, more selective, can finally translate into sustained team success at the highest level. This is where things get interesting, because Harden's legacy isn't settled, and it might never be universally agreed upon. Will he be remembered as a revolutionary offensive genius, a player who reshaped modern basketball spacing and efficiency, a superstar who fell short in defining moments, or a complex figure who was all of the above? Unlike players whose careers fit clean narratives, Harden's story resists simplicity. He didn't follow the traditional superstar arc. He challenged it. So what is the actual truth about James Harden? It's not that he's overrated. It's not that he's underappreciated. It's that he exists in a space very few players ever occupy. A player who forced the league to change, while never fully controlling how he himself would be remembered. He mastered the system. He manipulated the game. He redefined offense. But in doing so, he also created a version of basketball and a career path that made him one of the most debated players of his era. Not because he lacked greatness, but because his greatness came with contradictions. So next time you see a James Harden stat line, or a highlight, or a playoff performance, remember, you're not just watching a player. You're watching the result of a decade-long experiment in control, efficiency, and adaptation. And whether you respect it, question it, or completely disagree with it, you're still watching something the NBA may never fully see again. If you want more NBA stories like this, the rises, the falls, and the moments that changed everything, subscribe to Scripted Sports.